Welcome back everyone. In this video, we will see how you can actually set up your project and what are the things that we forget or overlook most of the time. But before we start, every project starts from the engine and we need to pay attention to the engine because Epic launches new engine versions every 6 months or so. And it is very difficult to go through one engine to the next. Sometimes you don't have enough space, and other time the project just breaks up. Now, for that particular reason, I would highly recommend that you stick to just one engine per project. It will save you a lot of time, it will save your project from being broken, and also it will save you of your data and space. So now that much is clear, let's move on to how we can actually set up our project. So whenever you open up Unreal Engine, you will see this window right here, which is the Unreal Engine project browser. Over here, the first thing that you will notice are different types of templates in front of you. If you want to make a first-person game, you select this one. If you want to make a third-person game, you select this one. Maybe you want to make a virtual reality, so you can select this one. If you want to make films or videos, you can select different category of templates and then you can select templates from here. Similarly, go with other types of categories as well. For this project and for this video, we're going to go over just the blank one. We're going to create a completely blank project and then we're going to add different templates later on inside the project itself. Now, let's select few of the project defaults. Over here, we can select whether the project should be in Blueprint or C++. For now, we're going to keep it as Blueprint, and later on the video, I will show you how you can include the C++ functionality in any project whatsoever. Over here, in the target platform, we're going to select desktop. But if you want to make a game for mobile or light platforms, then you can select mobile. After that, we're going to select the quality preset. Right now, the preset is maximum, but then again, if you want to make the game or project for a lighter device, make it scalable. I'm going to keep both of those things at the default, like the desktop and maximum. After that, we can select the starter content. Now, to the next thing, which is the project location. By clicking on this folder icon, you can select where do you want to save your project inside the Windows Explorer. I already am saving my project at a suitable place, so I can just keep it as it is. Now, we're going to go over to the project name. Now, this is pretty important point. You can make project name any name that you want, but you have to keep in mind that once you have created a project name, it can never be changed. Because the C++ codes, even inside the project that just runs automatically and will be created automatically, uses this name as a indicator. Okay, so without this name, your project will not run. So basically, if you have a C++ code and you want to move it from this project to someplace else, then you have to go inside the code and change this name to that particular project which you want. Okay, so this is pretty complicated stuff if you want to do that, but I would recommend that you just make your project name something that resembles your game, or if you have anything in mind, then just name your project name, the game name, or the main project name that you're going to be. Okay, so once you have selected a project name, for now, let's make the name to be, I guess it is. Okay, so I made my name, my project name, I guess it is. Okay. And then we're going to just hit create and let Unreal Engine do its thing. So this is what you guys going to see when you open up any kind of project, except this thing right here. So as you can see, I am able to see my FPSs, my memory being used, and how many objects are there inside this world that we are in, right? How actually can you get this? So let's first set that up. So we're going to go inside the edit option and then go to the editor preferences. After you have done that, you're going to go and search again for another thing, which is going to be the memory. Once you search for memory, there is going to be like a lot of shortcuts for the different types of things that you can do inside the engine. But the thing that we want is this: show frame rate and memory. If I kind of minimize it, or then over here, as you can see, if I disable it, it disappears. If I enable it, it appears. Okay, so come over here and select this editor. Inside the editor performance, show frame rate and memory. All right, so once you have done all of those things, we're going to close and go back to the edit inside the project settings, and let's set up a few of the settings right here. We're going to start from the first one, the description, and over here we have the project thumbnail, which you can have any kind of thumbnail with that dimension 192 by 192. After that, we can give it a description. Now keep that in mind that this description can be anything, like we are guessing over here. Okay, and the project name, I'm going to give it the this is the wait a minute, project name, and then we're going to give it gets. So after that, we're going to make the company name our myth, distinguished name our myth. No homepage, no support contact. After that, we have the display title. Okay, this is pretty important stuff. So now we're going to name this display guess, and then we have the debug title. So we're going to make it debug guess, right? So once all of those things are done, you will be able to see your FPSs. Our project is mostly done. We have all of the names where we want it. Now, let's go over and make this project into C++. Right? So first thing that we're going to do is go over to the tools over here, and you can see that we have a option for new C++ class. We're going to select it, and we're going to keep the none selected. Okay, so we're just going to select none, next, and then we're going to select public. You can name anything. I'm going to name this the temporary class. Okay, because we're going to delete this, we're not really going to have anything inside it. And then we're going to just click create class. Once you have done that, it will take some time, and Unreal Engine will add C++ codes to your project. Once that is done, you will be seeing few messages. So first of all, we will see project now includes source. Please close the editor and build from your IDE. We're going to click OK. The next one will be, would you like to edit the code now? We're going to say no, because we don't want to edit the temporary C++ code, right? Now close the Unreal Engine and open up where you saved the project files. So wherever you saved your project, just open up that folder and let's build the engine from its IDE. Okay, so now what we want to do is right click on your view project. Then you're going to click open. Once you close the project and then try to reopen it, it will ask you the following modules are missing or built in a different version. Okay, and it will show your project name, and then it will ask, would you like to rebuild them now? Then click yes, and it will just keep like it will start rebuilding everything for you. Just wait for a bit, don't touch anything else. It will take a bit of time to actually search everywhere and get everything that it wants to rebuild. And after some time you will be able to see this, and you can also show log. And over here, as you can see, it's trying to rebuild 8 actions or something. Okay, it's trying to build our project, and there are 8 actions that needs to be done. And first one is resource default. Okay. So we're going to let it build. Again, it's going to take a bit of time. Don't click anything. After this is completed, Unreal Engine will open up your project by itself. You don't have to do anything. All right. Once that is done, you will be able to see your project opened up inside your task manager. Now that is done, we're going to click on the content browser. So inside the content drawer, if you click on this add option, and then you click on the add feature or content path, then you can basically get any kind of projects like first person, third person, top down, vehicle, virtual reality, anything that you want inside your project, whichever project it is. Then we have C++ category like first person, third person, top down, but in C++, not exactly in Blueprint. And then we have content as well, which we already got. Okay, so you can get starter content from here as well. So now all of the things are done. I'm going to quickly select first person and add that to the project. Once we have done that, I'm going to click on first person maps and click on first person map. So I myself would like to use this map as my editor and game first map. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back to the project settings, maps and modes, and over here inside the editor starter map, I'm going to select the first person map. Okay, similarly over here, the first person map. So my editor and my game will open up this map right here whenever they start. Now that we are inside the project, let's close everything and let's move certain things around, like maybe I don't like this box here. Maybe let's just include it. So if I play, they just launch themselves, right? All right. How about that I add everything in here? It will be like a disaster for PC though. Let's just launch it, and as you can see, it's a complete chaos over here. And we can pick up the gun, we can shoot it. Pretty good, right? So the project is working, everything else is working. Now let's go over. So again, we're going to go inside tools, and over here, as you can see, we have more options available for us. But again, we're going to click on create new C++ class, but this time instead of none, we're going to click on all classes and search for blueprint callable or blueprint function. Function. Yeah, blueprint function library. Click next, and I'm just going to give it a name, something like active numbers. Make sure that it is still public and then create class. Once you have done that, it will open up Visual Studio for you. Alright, so now that is out, let's go over and select few things before we move on to creating the code. Okay, so first of all, if you go over to these two options, make sure that inside here we have selected Development Editor. Okay, make sure this is selected to be Development Editor and this is selected to be Win64. Once you have done that, you will see that we have two of these program opened up. Okay, two of these codes opened up for us, and these will be the same name that you just created, which is active numbers. Right, so let me just make a quick code which will create a basic node for us inside Blueprint, which we will be able to use to actually do anything. Okay, so I'm just going to make a quick code which will be something like public me public u function. Now, if you don't see these options, make sure that over here there will be a warning. Not this particular warning, there will be another warning saying that you don't have all of the required things for your project to work well or something like that. Okay, there will be a warning to for you to like install a few more packages. So basically install them and then you will be able to see all of the suggestions. For me, I don't really need them. I just going to go with my memory. So we're going to call u function blueprint callable. We're going to make a category and we're going to call the category to be arcmeth nodes. Okay. Next thing is going to be static and let's make a complete output node. Okay, so what we want, let's make a node where we will be able to add, yeah, we will be able to add 5. Okay, let's make it so that there's a node where we will be able to add 5 integers and output just 1. Okay, maybe something like that, I don't know. Okay, so we're going to go and firstly you have to name like which is the output, which is integer, so int, then the name of the node, which is going to be basically add 5 numbers, and then the inputs. So in my case it will be int a, int b, int c, int d, and int e. Okay, so once you have done that, these are the inputs. Okay, a b c d. Oh, what? Okay, so these are the input a b c d e, and this is the output, and it will just say like return or something. Right, now what we're going to do is hover over this add 5 number, whatever the name of your project of this node is. If you hover over it, you will see this screwdriver. Click on this and create definition in C++. Once you do that, you will see that we have a definition for add 5 numbers inside this project. And what we're basically going to do is inside this return, instead of 0, we're going to give it a plus b plus c plus d, d plus e. That's it. Okay, we are basically adding all of these numbers, and it's that easy. Okay. Why does the name change? What? Why did the name change? I have no idea. Alright, so once you have done that, I think it may cause some errors. I don't really know, but for some the description says the active number.c++, but Oh my god, I don't know. All right, so let's go back to the Unreal Engine, and without like really hard compiling anything, we can go over to this option right here, which will recompile all of the C++ codes and will give us ability to use them before we hard code anything. Okay, now load is live coding is done. We can go to any kind of blueprint. In this case, I'm just going to make a new blueprint class actor, and it will just be like print addition. Okay, and the work of this particular blueprint is to basically on the event begin play, whenever we begin play, we will add 5 numbers. Okay, so from here we're going to drag, and then you will be able to see the category that you just named. Mine is archmet nodes, and over here we have add 5 numbers. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to make 5 5 5 5 5. Okay, so the addition should be 25, so let's print that. Okay, and let's make the duration to be 50. Compile everything, save everything, close everything, and then run everything. Now it does not run because actor, the add 5 number or whatever, is not present in this map. So what we have to do is basically drag it to the environment, and now if we do it, as you can see, we are able to see the 25 print. Now there is one thing that occurs whenever you use C++ inside your code, is that let's say that I close Unreal Engine, save everything, okay, close live coding. Just don't close Visual Studio yet. I will show you why, but for now, we closed everything. And now we will go back to the iGuess project and reopen the project itself. So basically, if you just save everything, close everything, and then reopen, I will show you there's just one small problem that will occur. And that is that if we go back to the print addition or whatever, you will see this error right here. And this comes because the code itself is not hard coded, right? We haven't like saved the program or the codes that we made inside C++. We didn't save them inside hard drive. So it's saying all of those things, but you can fix this by 2 ways. You can fix this temporary by going back to this. It will like compile everything inside C++ codes, and once it is patched, then you can go back to the print addition and then just uh, refresh node, and then it will work. Okay, it's just that simple. But if you want a permanent solution, there is a permanent solution, of course, and that is close your Unreal Engine completely, wait for like 5 or 10 seconds, and once that is over, go to your games. Then inside game you will see your project name. Okay, make sure not UE5. Make sure that you have selected your project name, right click on it, and click build. Okay, once you do this, it will completely hard code everything that you have done inside C++ into your game, okay, into your project. So even if you close Visual Studio, even if you don't recompile everything, it exists. Now the node that you made or the code that you made exists forever inside your project. So now we can close Visual Studio, reopen your project, and see your code working. Okay, let's go over to the print edition. And as you can see, there is no error whatsoever in our node. And if we try to run it, we have 25 right here. So now everything is working. We have a C++ plus blueprint environment in our project. We have named our project correctly, not correctly, but we have unified it so that we will be able to see everything. Now let's go over and build our project. So go over to the edit, go to the project settings, scroll down, and you will see Windows. Over here, make sure that you create your game icon. Otherwise, it will look like Unreal Engine. So if you do want to have, if you have a icon, make sure first of all the icon should be .ico and the dimensions should be 256 256. Also make sure that the icon that you put here is inside your project folder. So it should be inside content. Make a new folder called sprites or something, right? And put your icon and everything inside this folder. Otherwise, it can cause some other problems, but you will be fine. Moreover, you don't have to change anything. Just make sure that you change your game icon and maybe your game splash. And once you have done all of those things, you can close, go to the platform, go to Windows, and just click on shipping. Okay, we're not doing any debugging and stuff right now. We're just going straight to shipping, and I'm going to click on package project. It will ask me where do you want to save the project. I will say desktop, and making I have a build folder inside my desktop, and I'm just going to make a new folder called gas project. Okay, and select project, select folder, and it will give me a output. So let's dock it into layout, and I'm just going to put it beside our map so that we will be able to see it. Now this is going to take a lot of time. Alright, so let's wait, and I will be back to you guys after this is done. Alright guys, so I'm back with the project being done. So once the project is done, you will see something like over here, build successful and the exit code 0. If you have any other errors, maybe exit code is something else and the build is unsuccessful, just search the exit code or just copy this much uh, portion of the code and then just upload it onto the Google and someone will give you the answer. Okay. But most of the time it should be successful, and most of the time you will see what is the problem over here. For now it is successful, and so we're just going to go and see our project. Alright, so let's open up our folder, and one more thing that I have to do first. So over here, as you can see, even when I change the project name and display name, everything, it still says, I guess it is. I guess it is. And we didn't really want that. Like, if this is the shipping game, we don't really want the project name to be there, right? So this is the reason why I always say that make your project name the main game name that you are going to be creating. For now, as you can see, I guess it is the name of the game. And if I run it, this is going to be quite a thing. Will take a time to load everything in. And as you can see, we can shoot stuff. we are inside the game. I'm just going to tab out to actually visualize everything. So as you can see, if we go inside project settings, then over here in the project display name, okay, project display title, we said display gas. And if I go over to the taskbar and pop this up, you will see that on this window, it says display gas. Okay, so basically this name will be appearing on here. All right, got it. That's the first thing. Second thing, if you go into your task manager, then you will be able to see all of the programs that are running. In this case, as you can see, um, inside the task manager, what do we see here? Project name gas. This is the name that we put it inside the project name. So whatever your project name is going to be your project, your application first name, and then the display name is going to be the second name of your program. Okay, so make sure that you name everything correctly in these places. So this is the thing that you should keep in mind when you are making your project. First of all, make sure that you name your project for which. So first of all, keep in mind that you're going to name your project closely to what your game is going to be. Then you're going to put the project name and the display name to be the same one, or at least closest to your final game name, or it can be changed at any point in your project, which is pretty good. Right guys, so now the game is built. We have set it up, most of the project settings and name and everything. Okay, if we run the game, it will show the correct name in the taskbar and task manager, but there's just one place where it's still the same, and that is the exe details itself. So if I right click on this, go to properties and details, over here you will see that in the description we have file description, type, version, product name, and everything else, which is not really what we want. And much more than this, if we close this and if I go just beside the size and I select company name. Okay, so if I select company, it will say Epic Games Incorporation. Do you work in Epic Games? No. Did Epic Games made this game? No. So what we want to do here is basically change the metadata of the exe itself so that we can basically have this game as our own and send this out as the company's property and not like Epic Games property basically, right? So we need to change the metadata. And there are multiple ways to change the metadata. And if you go to properties, details, you can remove properties and you can create a copy with all possible properties removed, or remove the following properties from file. You can select all and stuff like that. Okay, but it can only remove them. It will never like it will not make the metadata yours. So that's what we're going to do right now. So cancel this. And for this, you're going to need rcedit.exe. I will link. I'll give you the link in the description. You can go to the GitHub page and download this exe. And other thing is going to be the Change.bat. And if we try to edit the Change.bat, you will see that we have rcedit, your game, and these are the commands that we're going to run for us to be able to change the metadata itself. Right, so what we're going to do is there are two ways to do this. Either you can make a bat file and run that, or we can make a completely separate, or we can do all of these things inside CMD. Okay, I'm going to show you both of the ways and you can select one by yourself. For the bat, if you are going with the bat route, all you have to do is firstly make sure that this name is correct and same name as this file right here. Even if there is like x64 or something, make sure that you delete it and keep the rcedit. Okay, after that, change the your game.exe, and you can also do it by going to edit, find, and just find this. There will be also find and replace. Yeah, replace. I'm going to replace your your game with I guess it is, and replace all. And as you can see, it replaced our name with I guess it is. Okay. The next thing is make sure that inside the company name you put your company name. I'm going to put Ahmed Creations. Then the file description, what is going to be description of the file. I'm just going to say I guess it description. Product name, file version, and product version. After you have done all of those things, you can basically save this. So as soon as you run this bat file, you will see that our company name is changed to Archmeth Creations. And if I right click and go to properties, details, then you will be able to see that the file description is I guess it's description, application, I guess it is, and there is this one thing which is original file name. We can also change this, and that is it. So with this, you can basically change the metadata of your file, your proper exe. And by doing this, you will put a much better professional look in front of the consumer. Yeah. So after all of that is done, you can delete rcedit.exe, and you can delete Change.bat and package this and send this to Steam or any place else. Now also, if you want to do it with the CMD and you don't really trust bat files for some reason, you can then just click on, go to your folders, make sure that rcedit exists in your game folder or wherever you want to change it. Click on the upper bar and then search for CMD. Once you do that, you will be able to basically type in the same command, which is rcedit.exe, then your GameAppName.exe, which is I guess it is .exe, and then we're going to go with the change value, which I forgot, so I have to look into it. Okay, so then we're going to go with set version string and then company name and then name. Before it was Archmeth Creations, now let's say Archmeth Productions, I don't know. Okay, and enter. And with that, your exe's company will change to whatever you want to put in. So you can do it with CMD or you can do it with bat. Bat is basically a list of commands that will basically be running through PowerShell or CMD. It's the same thing, it's just that bat file runs it without opening up CMD. Alright, so that is it for this video. Hope you like this style. If you do, like the comment, the first comment that I did, and if you didn't, dislike the comment and let me know if you would like the previous style or this style. I'm still experimenting, so yeah. Anyways, happy developing and see you in the next video. Bye bye.